Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Moving Picture Massacre. I am Tom, and I am here with Ricky and Matt, my two lovely gentlemen friends that are going to talk about some movies. And before we talk about today's movie, I'm just going to ask you guys, how the hell are you?
I am good.
That's all we can ask for, right?
Yeah, same really. Been busy. Other than that, good. Trying to just, get back to normal life.
Right. The cool movie that we're going to talk about, and I say cool as, a nice term for this movie, is the 1969 release of Nightmare in Wax. I found this movie at a bookstore, a used bookstore, and there was like 3 copies all sealed just sitting there waiting for somebody. So I bought all 3 of them, I think for $1 total. So we knew this had to be the first one. To break it down really quick, what this movie is about, I'm literally just going to read the back because that's as much as we knew going into this movie, so it's as much as we're going to tell you to start off. This movie is directed by Bud Townsend, who didn't do a lot, and he did a couple horror movies and then did a lot of like sexy softcore like porno type movies, and then not a whole lot after that. But besides that, Cameron Mitchell and Anne Helm are the stars of this movie, and the movie is about Vince Renaud. I can't say last names very well. He is a recluse and a makeup artist whose face has been horribly disfigured in an accident caused by Paragon Studios head Max Block. A bitter and delusioned Vince retires to his wax museum and pursues his art. But he soon finds out his former fiancée is engaged to be married to an actor named Tony Diane. Back on the lot, Paragon stars are disappearing at an alarming rate. Ironically, each time a new star turns up missing, Vince adds another wax figure to his collection. But are these wax figures really dead? That last line, wait, no wax figure is dead or alive. It's a wax figure. Why would they say it that way? But, Anyways, first thoughts, you guys. I'm going to let you, Ricky, I'm going to let you go first. Just kind of, how'd you like the movie? How'd you enjoy it? Tell me about it.
First and foremost, gonna throw it out there. If you want to avoid spoilers, please stop this video now. Go watch it. We're not going to avoid any spoilers, so this is not a spoiler for your review. This movie came out in 1969. If you'd like to check it out, it's free on YouTube. Stop this, go watch it, come back. That's the best advice I got for you right now. But as far as how did I like this movie, I fucking didn't. The movie is terrible. It's terrible. I'm going to shit on many aspects of this movie as we go. Matt, what did you think?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like I was kind of like hopeful that I was about to watch something that was older, but just gold, and it wasn't at all. I mean, it was a steaming pile of crap, really. There was some things I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But the more the movie went on, it was like I forgot about everything that was cool, and I'm just focused on like everything that I hated. So, yeah.
Yeah, just the very beginning of the film when there's a man walking through a parking structure and he feels like he's being watched, and this guy turns around like 6 times as he's walking through this parking structure, and I'm like, no one's gonna do that. It's super over dramatic. And then he does the like walking into the elevator, and then all of a sudden, you. And I love that. It's just you, like we're supposed to be like, oh my God, who? And that's what's going to keep us going for the whole movie. You know what I mean? And it does not. So I would say roughly about the same thing. I wanted to like the movie because it was something I hadn't seen, and I was interested to see where it went, those kinds of situations, and it was not great. But The fact that it was not great led to some interesting things and some funny things to talk about. I know, Ricky, there's quite a few things that you didn't like about about this movie. So dive into those a little bit.
Number one, my first pet peeve that I noticed very, very quickly into the movie, the makeup they used for his burn scars. It literally looked like they took sculpting clay and just smacked it on his face. I was like, that looks like gray putty on his face. It's fucking terrible.
I love how the special effects artist has terrible special effects on his face.
Exactly. That bothered me. My second pet peeve is the go-go dancer chick. Why the fuck did they make her so stupid? They gave her a childlike ignorance, and it drives me nuts. Like when he says the word ensemble, she's like, ensemble? Like, oh my god, you're not a child. You didn't have to make her that stupid just because she's cute in the 60s. Come on.
It was rough.
Those two things drove me bonkers.
I loved at least the go-go scene was like 5 minutes long of just go-go dancing for no apparent reason at all.
And not on tempo with the music at all.
When
I was watching that part, I was watching it on lunch at work, and I was starting to like nod off, and I woke up to that part of her dancing, and it was like, man, I'm glad no one just like strolled behind me while I'm sitting here all casually at work watching that. So that was I was glad that happened or didn't happen. But overall, like some of the stuff in the, like Ricky said, the special effects on his face, the initial burn was kind of cool. I really liked that. I was like, oh, that looks really good. The colors blended well with the film and everything. The scars though were just bad. It was really, really bad. Some of the other stuff I didn't like. When the producer is leaving the girl's house and he's over there as well. They had that like following scene through the bushes, but like no one's following him because he's inside with the girl. So it was to me, it was almost like they filmed that and was like, well, maybe we'll have someone follow him, and then they just threw it in for filler later. So he's even like looking at the camera and stuff, trying to see if someone is, which was weird to me. One thing I did like though was I guess it's a security guard when he's pointing to where you could find him. He's like, it's down there, right past Marilyn Monroe, and they insinuate that he's like, I guess, killed or put Marilyn Monroe in wax, and now she's in the museum too. I was like, oh, that was kind of cool to throw out there because everyone else, I guess, was a made up character but her. But that was just a couple small things that I liked and hated.
You did have Clark Gable, right? When he's reciting the Gone with the Wind quotes.
Yep.
Yeah,
that would be another real.
It's. I'm not gonna say don't watch this movie at all. I'll never say that. Probably, maybe, because you realistically should experience these things. But there were some terrible things, like the part that Matt was talking about where it feels like he's following him through the bushes and stuff. The cinematography choice there was very weird because it was like right against the concrete of like a walkway, like what's that word I'm looking for? Like a fence. It was like a concrete fence, and it was trying to shoot between little sections of the concrete, and it just seemed really weird. Like I didn't see the point of that at all. And I would have to say that the ending was probably the worst part in the entire movie for me.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Another thing that bothered me was when I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. The wax guy. Was it what was the character's name?
Vincent.
Yeah,
Vince.
When he's talking to the girl and she's like, you must have experienced what true love is. And then he like thinks about it a minute, and then she realizes that he's thinking of her and him together. And then she's like, but not us. And like, basically she's like, just everything she just said, she just taking it away from him at the same time. It's like that was kind of stupid.
The whole relationship was super, super weird. And that's when, like, when the go-go dancer came in, I was very confused because I was like, what does this girl have to do with anything? Why is she talking to him about outfits and this and that? And then he brought her back. And that kill scene was the longest freaking scene in the entire world because she was just stumbling away from him for, like, I swear to God, it felt like 15 minutes. And then he gets up to her finally and then kisses her, and she's like, "Oh, I knew you were fine and everything was hunky dory." And then he stabs her in the gut, and then she's done. So,
yeah, that's one of my main complaints about the movie as a whole, is that every scene was so drawn out. It's like they didn't have any idea, so they're like, "Let's just take this idea and make it last like 20 minutes."
Yeah, he would catch her and, like, oh, he's gonna, like, put her in a noose and hang her and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh no, and then gets away. And it was like so many chances for things to happen, and he was like almost like a slasher or something because he didn't run after her. He just walked like he knew she wasn't gonna get out, and it dragged on forever.
Yeah, the cops in it were kind of funny to me too. Like, all these people have went missing, and this guy's like getting these new sculptures in his museum. And like, by the second or third person, you should realize, like, that's where they're going. There's something wrong here, and I guess they kind of do. But then they're like, "Yep, that's a good sculpture you got there," and then that's the end of the whole thing right there. It's like this is definitely odd and fishy and should be looked into more. The security guard too, where he saw the lady blink, and then basically the guy's like, you've been drinking, haven't you?
You're a drunk.
Yeah, here's more alcohol. And he's just like feeding it to him. So, like, yes, forget and drink all of this. Like, there was just a cheesiness to this movie that kind of made you laugh a little bit, but at the same time you're like, I'm really annoyed by this.
Oh yeah. One more complaint I had about the movie as a whole. Granted, I know this movie is 1969. I get it. But why does the score sound like they just copy and pasted from an episode of Scooby-Doo? It sounds just like Scooby-Doo's score.
I felt there was a lot of times where the music just didn't fit anything, or there wasn't any music at all until there was just like a dun-dun, and it's like, that's all you're going to use? Really?
How about the burn scene? Like, he's lighting up that cigarette, and when you look at the guy getting ready to throw the alcohol, he like looks at the cup and looks at the cigarette, and it's just like a real asshole thing to do. Like, he knew it was going to catch on fire and burn his face, and he just full on was just like, screw you, and tossed it right in his face. That kind of made me laugh a little bit. I'm going to be honest.
The largest flame out of a lighter I think I've ever seen in my life, too. That thing was like fucking 4 inches tall.
It's one of those Bic lighters that you can turn into like a crack lighter, where you just sit there and just turn the thing up and circle it. Have you ever done that?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is.
It was kind of funny. You could see the flames when they were shooting it, how the flames were just sitting in front of the actual actor by like 4 feet. So you could see the actor in the back, like, doing this, and the flames are like way over here, That was really funny. And then the actual the blood on his face and stuff after he jumped in the water and got the fire off of him was cool because it was, I like that high contrast blood that's like super bright, and obviously we know that's not going to look like that, but it's fun and I like that. But yeah, the ending of his actual burns were pretty terrible. But I don't see why this necessarily burned out his eyeball. I guess there's that option of the alcohol going through the fire and hitting his eye, and I don't know. It seemed like a stretch, but
how about when they make him look like Darkman?
Mm-hmm.
When he's all wrapped up in gauze. That's immediately that's what I thought of. I was like, this is Darkman right now. And yeah, that But what you said about the high contrast with the blood, that was the one thing that I think I really liked about this movie is when he pops out of the water. And it did cross my mind a little bit, like, why did it burn out his eye? And also, like, he gets this eye patch, but he doesn't like try and hide anything else on his face. It's just like like he was talking, it's that bad like scars or whatever. I'm not sure how he would hide it, but maybe it would have looked cooler if he just wore gauze through the rest of the movie, and but that would, I guess, change the whole movie really. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, when she comes to visit him after his face is burned and he looks like Dark Man, as you said, and he like pulls it down and he's like forcing her to look at it, and she's all freaked out and everything, and then he's like sculpting a little head sculpt and he breaks that on the ground because he's all pissed off. I was kind of hoping that there would be more of that, like development of his healing or his shitty face, like you said, with all that gauze and stuff, but it is what it is. Does anybody, as we were talking about, no one really liked the ending. Are we all on the same boat that it was, he was dreaming the entire time, the entire fucking movie? Is that what we realized?
Yeah, I think so. Like, there's no, I guess, logical explanation other than that, because the way that it was ending when everyone was standing above him, he was drowning or whatever was happening in that vat of liquid that he fell into. So it to me, it had to be a dream, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of felt like maybe, like, my thought process went to maybe after his injury with the whole flame and everything, maybe he got put into a coma or something. Then maybe his injuries were more severe than what actually showed. Maybe he hit his head on the pool when he fell in. Who knows? But that was my thought process. I was like, he wasn't conscious, and this was all going on in his head.
All right. Yeah, it was kind of interesting to have like just everyone laughing at him when he fell into the vat at the very end. And I could be totally missing it, but in the very beginning, when his face burned, were people laughing at him when he fell into the water outside? Was that a tie-in that I missed, or I don't think so, right?
I didn't notice if they were.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I just remember like the one girl screaming, and that was about it.
Speaking of that, did you also notice that scream that she screamed was the same one every time? They recorded it once and used the same scream every time.
I did not, but I'm not surprised by that. I was watching recently another movie where the lady that played Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian, she was in Halloween Resurrection, and she was talking like they just off screen recorded her screaming multiple times so they could use it throughout the movie. So I'm not surprised that they did that, and that's kind of a good idea because some people really, really suck at it, and it could get even more cheesy and worse than it was, I think, if the wrong person was doing it.
Right. So do you guys have any final thoughts about this lovely film? Anything you want to tell anybody about it before they either decide to go pick it up or never touch it in their life?
Yeah. Buy it for the cover art, because the cover art looks awesome. So listen to our review and take in everything that you heard us say about this movie, and then tell your friends you watched it, and then don't. So just buy it for the art, put it on your whatever you keep them on, and just say, yeah, I watched it, it was great, and just repeat everything we said.
Don't tell them it was great. Just tell them because it's not great. It's not at all great.
I like the tagline on the front too. It totally makes it sound like it's much more like menacing of a movie. It says half human, trapped in a bubbling cauldron of terror. And there's like the cauldron it exists, but nothing happens to it until the very end. No one's trapped in anything. You know what I mean? And it definitely doesn't look like that with all those body parts hanging out of it and stuff. So the cover is way cooler than the actual movie.
Honestly, I didn't read that tagline. So that does kind of crack me up. Like half human, like he's definitely 100% human. His shit's just burn up real bad. Um, so yeah, that is kind of funny. And then the cauldron, you don't really. How about that where they they make the guy walk the plank at the end just so he can dangle above it? Like, why couldn't they just pick him up by the chain and just like swing him over it? No, let's make him walk the pirate's plank, and then we're just gonna like, and he's not hanging either, like you would expect. He's almost like he's enjoying it, like he's just hanging on up there, and he's like, because doesn't he start like heckling him basically?
Oh yeah.
That's how they get him into the vat. Yeah. So that was kind of cheesy in a way too.
Yeah, I read up on that. That was filmed at the Santa Monica Pier out here in California. So I can go visit and take a look at it, see if it looks the same at all. Something tells me 1969 and today is not going to look very similar. So
Probably not.
So I think that's about it. I think that's all we have to say about this lovely, lovely film that we found by accident, by random, and I'm not mad that we did because again, it gave us this experience. So if you want an experience as well, go out and try and find this movie. If you can't find it on VHS, like we said, it's on YouTube for free. I'm sure you can rent it on Amazon or maybe on Prime for free too. I'm not 100% sure, but we are going to watch another movie. And I don't know what it is yet. We have not decided. And I'm not going to say it out loud in case we decide something differently. So what we want you to do while we're trying to decide is comment on this video with maybe ones that you think we've never seen. Maybe we'll take a gander into what you guys like or, you know, something obscure that we've never heard of. We're very excited to do that. And what am I going to do? I don't know. I hope you guys like this video, and I'm going to let the other two guys, if they have anything else they want to say, and if not, then we'll see you guys really, really soon.
Yeah, I got a little bit to add to that. We are on basically every podcast site now. So you could just type in Moving Picture Massacre. You can see the logo. It looks like Jurassic Park. If you can't watch the videos, you can't sit here, you might want to listen to us in the car. So just, you know, look that up, and it's the same stuff just without video. So that would definitely be appreciated. And like I said, it's on Apple. I know it's on Google. It's on Spotify. It's on basically all the big sites that you want to listen to stuff.
I just want to disagree with one thing that Tom said earlier because he said he would never tell you to not watch a movie. I will tell you not to watch one movie for sure, and that's House of the Dead. Don't ever fucking watch that garbage. I hate it so much. Don't ever fucking watch that movie. I hated it when I was 12. I hate it now. It's awful. Don't fucking watch it.
I don't think I've seen House of the Dead, to be honest with you.
Don't watch it. It's based on a video game, and for the action sequences, they use scenes from the video game. It's terrible.
I don't know.
Now I want to watch it.
Yeah, you're speaking my language all of a sudden. Can I get this for free?
Right?
I don't know. I watched it when I was 13 and I hated it so much. I was so mad. I wanted to watch zombies ripping people apart. If I wanted to watch a video game, I would have played a fucking video game.
That's true, because then you get to actually be part of it at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. I'm done vending.
Beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, like I said, like this video if you did like it. Subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you guys again here soon with another movie review. And in the meantime, I'm sure we'll have some other cool videos posted about some tapes that we received, maybe some individual reviews here and there. So come back to the channel pretty frequently, because hopefully we'll keep pumping out content you guys will give a shit about. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.